Hey, welcome to a video. This is a little raw, and I'm kind of enjoying doing these sort of raw videos. I hope you enjoy watching them, because I think I'm going to keep doing them. I had a really good day. The title of this, how to handle disappointment as an artist. I'm going to move this so I won't be tempted to look at myself. Alright, so I had a great morning. I met with Melissa, who has my second session with her. And all these people that I'm mentioning that I've been working with, you can find their links down in the description of this video. Now I'm worried that you can't see me. Okay. Now I can see me. I had a great session with Melissa, then I had a great workout with Jamie, and Mark was there, and he was filming, and it was it's our last session. This is the last session for my whole 30 Days to Wellness. I feel good. I feel good about how the program went. I feel good about my different perspectives. I feel good about how my body is changing. I feel really great. And then I got on the subway, and I was looking through my emails, because it had been several hours since I looked at my email, and there was a really disappointing email. I'm having super big emotions about this email, and that's part of why I want to just talk about it, because I can apply a lot of the stuff that I've been working on this 30 days to this email. So I had applied for a grant for, if you don't know, I'm a musician, a multimedia artist. I do performance art with electronic music, acoustic musicians, piano, video, storytelling. This is amazing. It's an amazing thing that I do, and I'm in a really cool place where I can sort of take ownership of the fact that I created something that's really special. So I applied for this grant, and I didn't get it. I got the email, and I'm extremely disappointed. I feel really like it's a thing that says oh yeah, you don't matter enough. Yeah, I mean, that's where I started. And I did the thing in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to send them an email. This is this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm never going to do that. And I had this whole thing set up in my mind about what I deserved and what I had expectations, right? And for my whole life, I felt like having expectations isn't a good deal, right? Like, if you set yourself up, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But it's okay to have expectations, and it's okay. I'm in a really interesting place with all this. Some of it applies directly to what Melissa and I were talking about. And we were talking about it in terms of relationships and how, wow, I'm going to get deep with this. How, for the last 10, 15, 20 years, I don't even know. I've been single for an extremely long time, at least 15 years. And it's because at one point in my life, I was like, that's it. That's it. I don't know how to do this, and I can't, and I give up. I'm just not doing that, and I shut it off. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's going to be maybe another video, or never a video. But one of the things we were talking about, and this is so corny, I feel so corny talking about this, is acknowledging disappointment, right? Like when something happens that I wanted, and something doesn't happen that I wanted to happen, and I feel like it matters, and getting that email, I feel so corny saying this, but it's exactly what fits. It's like my little inner artist, or my little inner child is like, oh, see? Those voices were right. All of the voices telling you oh, you're wasting your time, you're a loser, all that shit that goes along with, I should put that a different way, that I have allowed to be a part of my reality and the way I look at things about being an artist. There's a big part of me that's always like, you are 48 years old, you're almost 50 years old, and you're putting all of your money and all of your attention and all of your energy into this dumb thing. You're not gonna make any money from doing this. You should be getting a real job with benefits and, blah, blah, blah. And that email, if I choose to do it that way, can say, you're right. Those voices were right. You don't fucking matter. Your project doesn't matter. Stop. Give up. Go home. Get some fucking tofuty cuties. Eat the shit out of some bad food. and go pull the covers over your head, cancel everything for the day. That's it. I deserve to hide, and this was a devastation. It's disappointing. And I'm a little pissed too. But I can also like look at the whole story, right? What I do matters. Like this show that I made, and that I'm making a book, and my friend Luke Curtis is designing this book that I keep gazing at the drafts of, like, this is beautiful. And it's telling the story I want to tell in a way I couldn't tell it by myself. So now this book is happening without this grant. Like, and I'm making an album, and I don't fucking know how I'm going to pay for it. I just start doing it, but this is what happens. It's just a bump along the way. I have this Patreon page. If you don't already know, patreon.com/Michael Harren. Today would be a great day to become a member because I'm making a big project I just didn't get a grant for. I'll tell you more about that later. And that's not what this is about. This is about, like, doing something different. You know, like, I operate on this sort of victim mentality about being an artist and about having, like, a different kind of life that people might look at and say, like, irresponsible. Well, irresponsible is the main one that comes up for me. Like, this, just like, if I'm looking at the picture of, like, oh, that's, you know, like, money, retirement, blah, blah, blah. Dumb. Stop. No. But that's like a position, that no is a position of lack and of they're not being enough. So that, one of the, like, the thing that shifted my thinking, and let me tell you, when I read that email, I was about to get off the subway, and I was like, oh, I didn't look at this. I scrolled and, like, tapped it, and I was like, what? Although, like, I saw the line, although your application was unsuccessful, and the doors open, and I'm walking off the train, literally, like, shaking. I had a really, like, bodily response to this thing, and that's okay, right? Like, that, I need help. I have a vision about how this project should be, and I don't need that help, because if I did, it would have come. So how do I deal with disappointment now? Like, because I'm doing things differently now. Like, this 30 days of different eating, to me, when I started this 30 days, it was, I'm going to eat better, and I'm going to lose some weight, and I won't look so ugly and fat and gross. What is that noise? There's no noise. But then it became, about midway through, it became, oh, this is a mental thing. This is a thinking thing. And then Melissa comes on board, right? And then, oh, this is more of a spiritual thing. And Cindy comes on board, and I had, like, a session with her. So the thing that happened, I'm on the subway, I was walking to my train, and I finally was like, okay, stop, step to the side, read the email. The starts of, like, but this, I should have that, they should have this, I deserve something else, whatever. All those things are, like, swimming everywhere. And I hear this thing that Melissa said, I think it was last week, honestly, about what is the gift in this? It's something like that. There's a gift in this. And that was it. It's my chance, to figure out, do I think what I'm doing matters? Yes. Yes, like 100% yes. And it doesn't matter if anybody else does. Number one. Number two, I don't know what number two was. I think number one is the most important part. So, you know, like, I still feel really disappointed, and I still feel like that my little artist, my little baby artist inside is really like, they don't think it matters. And it doesn't. But so one of what Melissa was talking about today is parenting that inner child, or inner artist in this case. I'm thinking of, like, an inner artist, which is something I've thought about a lot for many, many years. I'm parenting that little being, right? So that little kid is allowed to be disappointed, right? Like, that's the appropriate response to someone saying, oh, we will not give you this thing that you've asked us for, like, to help you make this project. I think it's totally valid to feel all those things about it. But what I need to do differently today, and is what I'm planning to do, and starting with making this video, I guess, is taking that information, taking those feelings, and then pointing them in a different direction. So instead of, like, whatever, giving up on life, like, for the day, for the next 2 days, for the next week, for the next month, forever, however long I can get away with it. Okay, that sucks. What do you need? Inner child, inner artist. Great, here's that. Let's try again. Let's point it in a different direction. Let's get to work on it anyway, because don't you love making this stuff? And then, like, the rest is going to fall into place. So, girl, here's hoping I feel like that in tomorrow. I mean, I feel like I will. But that's a big deal. Like, that's a big shift for me. And I don't know, like, if you're watching this and how do you deal with disappointment? Like, what do you do? Like, I mean, that's it. Like, today that feels like the perfect fit. Like, this is what happened. What's the rest of the truth? The rest of the truth, in my case, I believe in what I'm doing. I love doing what I'm doing. I love making the thing that I'm making. I love when people come and see it. And honestly, it doesn't matter how many people come. I love that there are people, and people still, like, mention, like, oh, when I saw your show. I did it months ago, right? So that's it. That's this video. Like, what a cool awakening, right? Like, and how powerful is that, right? Like, because I don't want to come at this from a regretful perspective, right? Because there's potential for that. Because I was afraid to do any kind of writing or performing of my own work until, I guess, like 4 or 5 years ago. Petrified. And I just didn't do it. I wanted to my entire life. And I was too afraid. And that's just what it was. And I kind of feel, like, cool with myself about that. So I have to feel cool about myself for the time in those 5 years when there would be a disappointment or a terrifying, like, how am I going to get people to come? Like, all those things that happen when you first start making work. Like, I have to pay, like, these musicians that I had in my vision. I don't have the money. Like, where's the money going to come from? And it showed up. Or, like, I finagled it and figured out a way to make it show up. And, you know, like, my wish is for there to be less finagling and less pulling from different places and more natural support, you know. And that's where Patreon comes in. And please, this isn't an ad for Patreon, but this is why I love my Patreon page so much. I have like 97 subscribers who believe in what I'm doing, right? Some of them give me $1 a month. Someone gives me $35 a month. I have a handful of people that give me $25 a month. Most people give me like $5 a month. And I like share early podcasts, but it's like this beautiful just exchange of people who are like, yeah, we believe in that thing that you're doing and we want you to keep doing it. And I'm like, oh my God, you believe in this? Let me give you more. Let me make more of this stuff. What a cool exchange, right? Like, so that is what I want to have happening. You know, like more of that, like direct, like in all honesty, like there is an organization, A Well-Fed World, that supports my work tremendously financially. And they have always come through for me. Gay, A Well-Fed World, they come through for a lot. That's an amazing organization. But, you know, like, I don't like applying for grants. Like, I love getting grants. And I love the feeling of someone saying, we believe in what you're doing. Here's a chunk of money to do it. It's amazing. And I love it. I would love to have this, only the direct exchange with members of my audience, right? Like people who are like, this is cool. Here's $1. Do it again for a month. You know, like that's a cool exchange, right? Like people who are like the work and want to like keep it going, and we're directly exchanging it, which is what a cool thing. So anyway, I feel better. I feel better having talked about it. I feel disappointed. I'll probably still feel disappointed. I might feel a little passive-aggressive toward the organization, but I think that's how it's supposed to be, right? Full disclosure, it's an amazing organization, and they support a lot of amazing artists, and I love this part of it is because I feel stupid. Because I have moments like, now what do you call that word when it's someone that, academic, that's it. They support a lot of artists and academics, and they do amazing, amazing work. It wasn't in the cards for me to get a grant from this organization, and that sucks, because honestly, like, I need a new computer. I gotta have some more recording sessions to put the album together. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna fall into place, and I'm gonna figure it out. So anyway, thanks for sitting through this. No idea how long this thing has been. Yeah, this has been another raw, uncut video from my YouTube channel. And feel free, go patreon.com/Michael Harren. If you want to learn more about just the work that I do, you can go to michaelharren.com. I do a podcast that's 100% free. I'm like 256 episodes in, where I interview activist artists. Conversations are solid and on point. MikeyPod.com for that. If you just remember michaelharren.com, all of that stuff is linked in the bottom, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you for the next video.